Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Unsolicited Opinions podcast. I'm your host, the Meerkat Monarch, and I'm almost alone today. Holy shit, what are we gonna do?
You're never truly alone on the internet.
Well, if we don't get any listeners, at least we know that the NSA is listening. Welcome, everybody, to the Unsolicited Opinions podcast. I already said that, but it's fire sale today, because YouTube is burning.
Sweet fire effect, bro.
Yeah. It's the worst. I'm so embarrassed. Anyways,
no expense spared here.
No expense spared.
We didn't start the fire.
No. Today it's just... Let me see. For some reason, the... Oh, great. Fuck. Yeah,
I'm flipping the gear, by the way.
Seriously, y'all, get rid of the fire.
Yeah.
Oh,
there we go. We got
fire.
Tarsen.
It was so fucking
The return
good.
of Tarsen.
The fire is shit. I came here just to tell you that the fire is absolute shit.
It really is.
I may have to rejoin because Google Hangout conked out on me. Give me 2 seconds and I'll be right back.
1,000.
2 1,000, 3 1,000. So, in this moment of downtime,
Sorry about that, everybody. For some reason, my Google Hangout decided not to work. So, gotta find the link again. Oh, that's not very nice. Damn you.
Both.
Yay! I managed to
Hey!
actually get back on, but for some reason he decided to show my Twitter feed instead. That's really
I am
weird.
watching it, yes. Don't worry, it's only me talking to you.
That's good.
Okay, can we split? Are we back? And we're back to normal, I think, now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are today's subjects?
Oh, well, there's my ineptitude and my complete idiocy. Angela wants to join, so we'll get her back in. Just give me a second. And
One of the topics is that apparently the UK's biggest threat from cancer is in skin cancer. And I always thought that was strange because, you know, it's Britain. We don't get the sun. We don't have a sun. But it turns out 2 sides of our coin, rainy and cloudy, it still like the sun will still kill us even if it is cloudy. So you know, that's
great. So we're living in the soup for nothing. God,
yeah.
I thought at least I wouldn't get skin cancer, but
It's
nope,
even worse
even
than
that
that.
failed me.
No one in Britain has sunscreen because why the fuck would we need it? So of course we don't have any preparation for when the sun is, you know, sort of, I don't know, just sort of discreetly killing us behind the clouds.
I mean, you British. I mean, fuck you. You don't live in ice country, okay? So you get nothing.
Dude, you get the ice and the sun.
At least you get ice. At least you get ice. Your weather is committed to what it's going to be. Ours never is.
And we get
That's the
slaughtered.
problem.
I'm telling you, Arizona has lovely sunsets, and the sky is usually clear, and you go outside in the middle of summer and drop dead looking like beef jerky in about 10 minutes. So, hey, you give a little, you get a little.
Once again, your weather has committed to what it's going to do to you. Ours is just sort of just hangs there.
Yeah, I was just
Slowly turning the British into the most whiny fucking people on the planet.
It's not equipped to deal with mid temperatures.
No.
Like, deal with really low temperatures, or not that low. Like we're in like that sweet spot between not being able to deal with heat and not being able to deal with cold.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most of the time we're just shitty enough that we can get somewhere in between there where we can live. This year has been terrible for the weather. It's been either really, really low, which went throughout most of spring, and all of a sudden it got really, really hot for a heat wave. Then it got really, really cold again. Then it had a fucking heat wave again, which is which is why the sexist air conditioning thing has come back in full force.
Yeah.
First time was during a heat wave. This is another heat wave. We might as well have it again. Second round 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot. Sorry, Keld, are you
God.
screaming on the devil's platform? You're fired. Roy, you're the new Jan. No, that's not true.
What?
The reason why we're streaming on the devil's platform is because it's YouTube fire sale. Everything must go. It's probably the last broadcast we'll have on YouTube.
Thankfully, the fire is gone.
Yeah, the fire's gone.
Really important.
Yeah.
So where will we go?
And Angela's joined us, so maybe we
Hello.
should go through the topics now, because...
Yeah, I think I'm done stalling.
Yeah. Anyways, we have the topic that everybody wants to talk about. Of course, the YouTube pulling a lot of bullshit again. And then we have satirical Hillary games being banned, but anti-Trump games staying on the Apple Store. And we have the bobblehead controversy, or dancing hula girl controversy.
By the way, Yan, is the intro as we discussed?
What do you mean, the intro?
No, wait, the outro, sorry.
Oh, the outro. I don't know. Evil is not here, and Artivous is not here, so I have to do the outro. And yes, it will work perfectly, as always, when they're not here.
Well, since it's you, it probably won't.
In honor of the hula skirt bobblehead fiasco, can we have the Hawaiian war chant for the outro? It's such a great little tune.
Also, within the Hawaii theme, rest in peace, Mr. Fuji. In wrestling, you're Japanese, but we all knew you're really Hawaiian.
By the way,
Yeah,
where was Hawaii a continent?
The continent of Hawaii. Oh,
I didn't know it was
Yeah,
a continent.
let's just start with that fucking thing there, because it sort of balls into the whole YouTube trouble bullshit, anyways, because it kind of it was the video that Phil DeFranco covered with the bobblehead that actually got demonetized first. That was the first that sort of made the big headline. So we can cover that first. No one's in charge of intercepting logic today. No one. No one.
Maybe I should take the job.
Yeah.
no.
Anyways, anyone want to get started on the bubblehead thing? Because I just caught up with it today, so I'm not really...
Okay.
Well, does anybody want to say what it actually is?
I will.
don't
From
know.
what I understand, there's a service called Lyft, which I'm assuming is something similar to
Taxi.
taxi. I was going to say Uber. And what happened is that they were driving. This guy was driving these two girls to a destination that they prearranged, obviously, and he had one of these little bobblehead hula hoop girls that he found apparently in some sort of like thrift shop or something on his dashboard, and she took offence to this, and she claimed, and she started filming it because they love filming these things. And she said that they were going from it to... She said it was offensive and says, "Are you part of their culture? Are you part of their culture?" And he was like, "No." And the driver seemed perfectly polite to me. And they start shouting and screaming at him, saying, "Oh, you're not... If you're not...
No, not they. Her. It was just Annalise Nilsson. Because
Jan, stop the logic. Let Flippy move on.
Anyway. Started screaming at it. Well, actually, okay, she was yelling, the other one was tittering.
Yeah.
And they were just driving on, and she kept saying, "You're being very rude, you're being very disrespectful," and he was there going, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not," like a normal person would.
Like humongous.
And she was screaming, shouting, until eventually he basically pulled over at the side of the road and said, "Get the fuck out." Not in those words, he was very polite.
Yeah, the thing is, he actually reached her destination as well. But she
Yeah.
didn't want to get out of the car either.
Okay.
Can you say tittering on YouTube anymore?
It doesn't matter. We've already lost monetization. I swore just before he started speaking.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I know.
Also, according to her Facebook page, she actually films literally everything because she claims to walk in like a 20% fear that she will always be attacked if she goes out or something, which is why she had the camera on and started filming. What's really silly is that she actually sent the video in to the company expecting validation, and they'd already fired the guy thinking it was, he'd done something bad. As it turns out, like, the moment they saw the video, they realized she was the psychopath and that he'd done nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great, the logic and shit is here.
And she was screaming at you to be on Gorka. She was screaming.
Artie's here.
My internet was butt.
Okay.
Oh.
But she was screaming, "You're going to be on Gorka," apparently not realizing that Gorka was going down.
Oh, that video is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. And she on later on when the video eventually did come out, she said that she knows what oppression is. She has a master's in women's studies from her now taken down and rightfully so Twitter account.
No, she was clearly hammered. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Has you
ever thought about the
explained-
continent or the pillage of the continent of Hawaii?
She actually explained in like a Facebook page, there was a post regarding it where she basically explained that she goes from like 1 to 400 on the rage scale ever since she learned about intersectional feminism, and that's basically the cause of it. Basically,
As
She's-
a resident feminist, Angela.
Uh-oh.
Triple
I
brewing.
knew she was feminist. Don't worry.
Don't ask her to take responsibility for that crazy bitch.
Apologise to us. Apologise to us as men for her actions, as in all units.
No, but you're caught up on the thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't actually seen the video. I mean, I've only just caught up on the whole humongous thing. But,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I did take a look at what this was about and just kind of, yes, although I am fascinated to potentially find out what intersexual feminism is, because this sounds wonderful, and yeah, intersexual feminism sounds great. Count me in.
It's,
Intersectional. I think that's what it was. I don't know. Fuck it.
yeah, but I have to applaud the other girl that was actually in the lift, because she actually said, "You seem like a really sad person."
She
Wait,
was
she's
drunk
an
enough to
elevator
tell the
driver now?
truth.
Yeah.
So she berated the driver as well, yeah. Is that what?
No.
That's the thing.
She said it to her name is Annalise Nilsson. That's the girl.
No. Annalise was the one who was.
Annalise.
acting
Yes.
crazy,
That's
not
what
the
I
other
mean. That's
girl.
what I mean. It was
Yan,
one-
just Yan.
No. God damn it! I was being correct here. She was the girl that was offended on the behalf of Hawaiian people, and the other girl that Jade was her name, but she didn't give her last name. But Jade was the name she gave to
Nice
her.
backpedal.
No, it's not a backpedal because you didn't let me finish and you interrupted me while I was explaining the situation.
Jan, kind of clockwise.
I was confused.
Amy.
I was confused because I thought it was actually the other girl calling the driver a sad person.
No.
She was calling the other girl.
Yeah.
Oh, I
But
see.
she was
Okay.
drunk enough. She was drunk enough to tell the truth. And her immediate reaction was, "You're pretty sad." Like,
Yeah.
isn't there one thing? It's like, of all things to like have a fucking rage attack over, like,
I just find this really offensive. It's nothing personal, but you're an asshole.
your Valley Girl accent needs some work.
Yeah,
Let's
I
just
know.
be
Oh
clear.
my god!
It
you
was not
totally need
rage.
to just.
It was not rage about the
I don't know how
Hawaiian
your
girl. It was
girl
about
is.
the pillaging of the continent of Hawaii.
Yeah,
Nothing else.
yes.
Pillaging of the continent.
There is one thing I would say about this whole thing, is that if you film everything and you say that you go out everywhere with this fear that you're going to get attacked, and then you also freely admit that you go from 1 to 400 on the rage scale really, really fast, isn't being attacked at this point kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy?
Yeah, that's what I've always noticed about all these times you hear about these people saying, "Well, I met this horribly rude, horrible man today. Oh, he was disgusting, and he was all this and all that to me." I'm thinking, if you actually have that attitude that you post in every single tweet, blog, and Facebook update, and you carry that through to real life as you do online, of course people are going to come across you and not going to like you.
Yeah, but it was the entitlement in her when she was filming this as well. It was the idea of, everybody's gonna pay attention to me. I'm now gonna be the new phenomenon.
The reason I don't. The reason this is so entertaining to me is not that this kind of stuff, like, at this point we're used to. These SJW rage outs. What I find entertaining and most interesting about all of this is that everyone was making fun of her.
Yeah.
Like, normally, like, the same kind of group of people would get a hold of this vid and, take a few shots at her and then move on. It was that the entire internet collectively started making fun of this woman.
Yeah.
Like, there are people who normally wouldn't have talked about this that were like, "This bitch is crazy." And it's become a thing where these people are starting to, where the zeitgeist is people are everywhere. Normies are making fun of these people now. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at, is that it was outside of, the people who are used to having to deal with these nut jobs poking fun at how easily offended she was. And I think that's kind of the important takeaway of it, to be honest.
Just did a bit of research. This girl, Annalise Nelson, I did not know she was the CEO of a social network and porn site.
What?
That's just the icing on the cake there.
Here we are, Annalise Nelson, CEO of social network Crush E, which is Crush with two E's at the end of it, and founder of alternative porn site God Girls. Had I right? Yep. And
she's got to be 300 pounds, dude.
Oh.
No, she's actually not bad looking, to be fair.
Bro, you would think with a site called Crush Girls.
God Girls. It's ultimate
Crushy,
pinups,
one who was
gothic,
crushed.
emo, tattooed, pierced, hot and sexy God's Girls.
Oh my god!
Wanna be
It's just popped up in my internet history. I've actually been there. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, it was crap. I didn't want. Yeah, it was crap. That's why I left. Yeah, I remember that one now.
Oh, they
We
have a
know
Tumblr
more about
as well.
his internet
How
history.
the hell did you run a porn site, but you're offended by a fucking hula girl?
Yeah. Well, all her pornography is culturally enriching. All right.
That's just when you realize that all of this was when you realize all this was a long con for free advertising.
She could have done it in a better way. In that case,
She could have done it in a more convincing way.
Yeah.
I mean, if these microaggressions supposedly happen everywhere all the time, which is what certain people would have you believe, then really it should have been easier to come up with something better than a bobbly hula girl on a dashboard.
I doubt with her level of inebriation that any of this was planned.
Of course, if microaggressions were really that prevalent, I don't think they're really a problem you need to get angry about in the first place, to be honest.
Yeah, but that's the thing. She said she's always ever since she got into feminist or women's studies.
Oh wow.
She has been angry all the time. She goes from 0 to 400 like that. That's
because everyone's a sinner.
Too.
Yeah.
Also paranoid.
Yeah, it seems like I'm just gonna say it again, and I know we've covered this time and time again before, but it seems very, very fucking cultish. It seems women's studies as they are
You're right.
today.
We have talked about this extensively.
Yeah, yes. But women's studies as they are right now, or gender studies as they kind of changed it into, they should just call it female supremacy training. That's what it is. It's got fuck all to do with feminism in its original form. It's not about equality. It's all about...
neurosis class.
What?
I feel like it should be called like neurosis classes.
Yeah.
Feminism plus.
Yeah. How to get neurosis. How to feel guilt for every fucking thing.
Alright.
How to shame others. How to shame others.
Anger management.
How to turn every
Need
person
anger
on the planet into Woody Allen.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Oh yeah. Oh god. Oh god. Oh
Oh,
god.
jeez. I woke up this
Oh,
morning and I realized I'm white. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I've
Oh,
just
no.
found her Twitter page is back up. Here we go. Masters in Women's Studies at the University of Honolulu, so she should know that Hawaii isn't a continent. Peter's thesis on how the patriarchy shames women in today's rape culture. And looking through her, through it, it's her reaffirming she's from Hawaii, so she should know everything about it. Lots of self-promotion, her trying to make the bobblehead meme of herself famous, so everyone gets to know who she is, obviously. And Lauren Southern, who was the person who broke that video, is said that she's been trying to get rid of. She's said that she's registered a complaint to Lauren Southern's YouTube channel to get rid of it. Haha, you bully, and threatening to punch her.
Yeah, but it's exactly what I thought it was. She's a person trying to get the new to be the new outrage general, or the new poster girl for outrage culture. That's that's what this is, and that's what I think a lot of these women's studies churn out. These activists that want to get famous, and they want to get famous for shaming somebody else.
I know, but if you actually look at her Twitter account, it's non-stop. Boycott Lyft, how great Uber is, and just obsession with Lauren Southern, and Paul saying how much of a racist is Lauren Southern.
Oh, wow.
You better have answered a hell of a racist, right?
Oh no, it's been nothing but this, and she's got a White House Gov petition up.
Are we sure she's not just a high-functioning autist?
That's
I
us,
mean,
dude.
We're not that bad.
No.
Yeah.
We all have
Paul.
internet petition sites, don't we?
Oh yeah. They've done so many good things. I love how I turned into a character from Fargo there. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh jeez. Oh yeah.
But yeah,
That's very good coffee.
Yeah, but the funny thing is that most of the characters from Fargo are Norwegian descendants, so yeah,
Jesus
that's why.
Christ, you gotta shoehorn it into everything.
Aha!
one thing I do have noticed, I'm looking at
Was
It's-
that your segue?
No.
Norwegians need something to be proud of, and in this case, it's Fargo, North Dakota.
Yeah, I'm looking over at my shelf. I have a DVD of Fargo, which I bought back when it came out on DVD. Still got its cellophane wrap on it. Never seen Fargo yet. Owned the DVD for years though.
God damn it! You will watch it for Cocktober, which is
Watch it. It's disturbing.
yeah. Anyways, let's get back to the issue at hand, which is which is the hula girl thing, and it's been covered extensively, and I don't think that we're gonna cover any new ground here, but it just seems like it's the thing I take away from it, the positive thing I take away from it, it seems like it's dying. That sort of Justine Sacco career-ending bullshit, it seems like it's ending now. And it's a good
Because
fucking
everybody
thing.
is overusing it. That's the problem. Like, everybody was using it to basically get internet famous really quickly and make a career out of it. And so many people have done it that it's become white noise at this point.
Yeah.
It's the social justice equivalent of playing scary games and filming yourself screaming at scary games and loading the footage on YouTube at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the thing about Scary Game Squad and that is that it's at least entertaining when they do it, and it's
Some of it is.
yes, some of yeah.
I love it. The patriarchy, the new Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh God. The worst thing is, at least, Five Nights at Freddy's, there are monsters. It's...
And it's all in the child's brain. There's nothing they have in common.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the thing that they have in common. It's just that I'm taking heart in this situation, actually. And I'm taking
no one's
heart.
defending her.
Yeah.
I've seen no articles defending her.
I mean, not even Lacey Green, and she seems to think that only trans men can speak for trans.
Men.
Yeah, for men. Yeah. You guys want to talk about that video? Because I don't know, that got remonetized.
Are we
real
giving
fucking
Lacey
quick.
Green attention? Because
I'm not giving her attention. I'm just.
The only thing that really needs to be mentioned is that someone repealed the demonetization, meaning it's not a complete lost cause for everyone. What remains to be seen is whether or not it's going to be selectively applied, and that's...
or it is.
Yeah.
No, I think...
Since it's mostly automated, same as Twitter, I mean, there are always going to be these kind of problems where you have a system that's entirely automated, where nobody can speak to an actual person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That seems to be what the problem is that it's looking for keywords in not even tags. It's looking for keywords and key phrases in people's description boxes. So you can sit in your video and talk about rape all you want, as long as you don't say anything offensive in your description box.
Yeah, but am I completely
Actually,
wrong in her
it's a controversial
saying...
subject, so you'd already be demonetized by default.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think she actually got those videos got reinstated or remonetized
That's what I said.
within 10 minutes.
Oh.
So that means that she actually knows somebody. She is an MTV
Employer,
gal,
yeah,
yeah. So I guess they have a one-way line to YouTube, so that
MTV would, yeah.
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 Yeah, that's my point. Is that it is for us normal plebs, or for the let's say the mid-range. We're a small channel. We're a tiny speck channel, but for the larger channels or the mid-range channels, it's going to take forever for this to be reinstated.
I feel like if there is going to be preferential treatment, I do at least feel that it won't be based on ideological grounds, more just on the connections you have and how big your channel is. Like, I guess if PewDiePie was to complain, he would get repealed immediately because, like, he's a big member of the YouTube.
Yeah, well, PewDiePie still hasn't been fucking verified again after his joke.
I don't think
unverified
PewDiePie gives a
himself.
fuck anymore. I think
doesn't
he's
care.
switching.
Yeah.
We don't know if
he
we're really
unverified
PewDiePie anymore.
This is he's lost the ability to be verified. The only problem is that he was suspended because he had a picture of him sucking cock.
What?
Well, according to his video, he chose not to be verified.
Yeah, so basically what happened was he felt being verified was stupid, which it is. He's got the right idea there.
Yep.
So he unverified himself, and people started spreading conspiracy theories. And then a Sky News parody hosted like a fake article where they basically said he joined ISIS, and if you clicked it, you would know it was fake. But for some reason, most people didn't click it, they just assumed it was true. And so he played along with the joke and basically just said, yeah, I've joined ISIS. And then his account went down. And people assumed it was because of the ISIS joke and that he'd been unverified as well. what actually happened was he actually got banned for the avatar where he was basically sucking dick in it or something similar to that. And like he got rid of the verified name himself. He doesn't particularly want it back, so we don't know if he's actually lost it. But frankly,
Well, it looks like looking at it, he's actually lost. Because how many followers did he have? It was something like 8 million.
Yeah.
He's down to 500,000 now.
I'm sure he doesn't mind that much.
And
no one was sure
I love
actually him.
Yeah, well, I loved his recent retweets, which are filled with stuff like YouTuber PewDiePie arrested for kidnapping Italian model, PewDiePie under house arrest for animal abuse. These are all these fake news sites that are posting fake stuff about him.
Yeah, he also made fun of the Marina Joy situation. He basically mimicked her tweet about meeting up at Bethnal Green at 6:30 in the morning, which was... I thought for a moment, like, was that a fake account? But no, it turns out it's his real account. He's just having a fucking hell of a time right now.
Oh yeah, he himself says he suddenly lost 8.8 million Twitter followers. He's lost those. His account got back, and he's lost 8 million of his followers.
Yeah, so kind of like whenever somebody gets banned and they have to be reinstated, they lose automatically a lot of followers.
Is it just one of those visual things? Because when I deactivated my account, it basically claimed I had no followers when I actually had like 80 or something at the time. So it's like it was something that was like a temporary thing. It's just what you see. It's not what's actually the case.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait. Yeah, let's wait a couple of days. But even he has noticed his follower count seems to have vanished.
I just don't think he cares at this point. He
does not.
No.
Give a toss. Good for him.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, he keeps retweeting joke news about himself.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that.
PewDiePie arrested for kidnapping Italian model.
Well, yeah.
PewDiePie under house arrest for reports of animal abuse.
This is the first I've heard of it.
He's originally from Sweden, right?
Yeah.
He's kind of like
yeah.
He's kind of like the Swedish Sam Hyde now.
Kind of.
But he's in the UK now.
Yeah,
because we have better internet.
Well, right now he's in Seattle, apparently. Because he's doing PAX West. So, yeah. Well, still, it's... he seems to have gotten a bit fed up with the entire internet culture at the moment, so he's acting out.
Yeah, I liked in his video, he basically mentioned how journalists started approaching him, asking him to give them his story, and he's just like, journalism sure seems like a fulfilling job, huh?
Yeah.
He was actually, they went to his girlfriend and asked him what he was doing with ISIS. And he actually made fun of the whole Twitter verification thing. He completely took the piss. Has anyone else seen his video on that?
What, the one I just mentioned? Are we actually listening to each other? I feel like we're talking in circles.
So Hula Girl, I heard this story about this girl who got rid of the
Well, let's dive into the YouTube stuff, because that's gonna take most of the broadcast today, anyways.
Yeah.
So, I don't have any videos monetized on my channel, and the League of Evil channel doesn't have any monetized videos. So we didn't
wouldn't be able to anyway.
No, not now, anyways. But who here has actually gotten that email?
No one, but I think the problem is I actually have a slightly different... I know everyone's really pissed off about this, but I do have a slightly different view to everyone else. My view is, unfortunately, it's like I thought this was going to happen ages ago.
Yeah.
I follow advertising on things like... I watch TV shows and I read the network stuff.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised... it's not always programs with high viewerships that advertisers want to advertise on. It's a specific show and market that people want. For example, there are some people who just will refuse to advertise on Game of Thrones because of their content.
Yeah, because
And-
it's also HBO, so there is no advertisement on the original. But yeah, when they rebroadcast
On
all of
other
them, yeah.
countries, yes.
Yeah.
That's one. I was just using that as an example. But for example, you can have a show that will do like 8 million viewers, and no one will want to advertise on it because of the nature of the show. But something can have 2 million, but someone like Mattel might want to advertise on it because it's got an audience that kids can watch and stuff like that, even
Yeah.
though it's less kids. So I fully understand. I don't really blame YouTube. I don't really blame the advertisers. I think it's just a situation.
It's the natural.
What?
It's,
What?
No, it's
What exactly?
it's a natural evolution of.
I just think the guidelines are strange.
Yeah, it's the
Yes,
vagueness of the
yes.
guidelines.
It's obvious corporatization because YouTube is trying to appeal to advertisers more than it is to the people who use the service, because they, for the most part, have a monopoly on video viewing.
Yeah, and I don't think necessarily
and
this has come through
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, sorry.
The thing is when you try and appeal that heavily, it's not. You're trying to basically control chaos when it comes to trying to manage a social media site to begin with.
Yeah.
And this was the wrong way to try and implement something like this. If you wanted to appeal to advertisers, what you should have done was give them the ability to control where their ads went.
Yes.
And to whom,
Yeah.
rather than push a blanket kind of, lazy algorithm
Yeah,
to
and then
try and censor the entirety of YouTube to your liking. The problem is now, just like Alpha Omega Sin said, I don't really think people are going to do anything. I think people are going to be pissed about this for maybe a week,
yeah.
and then go back to what they're doing because they're not angry enough to actually do something about it.
I mean, this has already been happening for a year now. It's already been happening, but they've only just started actually telling people why they were demonetizing their videos instead of just doing it, which is what they were doing before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard Total Biscuit talk about that, but that's not completely true because they changed the actual TOS. They changed the terms of service.
Mm-hmm.
They made it super vague, so basically
Yeah.
anything that they consider,
Yeah. Sorry for interrupting you,
they can
Angela,
literally
but,
do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And
Sorry for
Yeah.
interrupting you, Angela, but I just thought it had to be said. That.
Yeah, I mean, it was a case of, yes, they changed the terms of service, but it was a case of when they demonetized your videos, they wouldn't actually tell you why. They would just do it, and you wouldn't be told why they had done it. Now they are telling people why they have done it, which is so. But I can't. When I first heard about this, I couldn't help but feel that, the advertisers realistically were only really reacting to what we had told them. I mean, when we emailed advertisers, and because we were unhappy about certain types of journalism and certain pieces that were going up, and we said, do you want to be associated with this?
Yeah.
We sent them a message saying that even if you are, as a company, are not in control of where your ads end up, your company, your brand, is associated by customers with the content on sites on which their advertising ends up, even if they have no control over it. So we've told them that there is an association there. So then, if they've listened to that and they're reacting to that and thinking, well, we actually don't want our customers thinking that, building that association in their heads of our brands with controversial topics, or with things with a lot of swearing, or with sexual content, things like that. Our customers are saying that if our brands are associated in their minds with things that they don't like, that they're going to boycott us.
That's a really
So we've
good
got to-
point, really.
So we've got to stop that. That kind of stuff scares the shit out of advertising executives.
That
So-
was one of the, that was one of the things that I always thought with this whole thing, is that I know for a fact that a lot of the people who are really getting really vocal about the talking, I knew for a fact that they used ad block. So that was kind of okay. And the second one that I didn't really like about it was the fact that we actually did an emailing campaign telling advertisers that we're not happy with you advertising with these people. And
Yeah.
if they feel that they don't, and as I know that there is always this thing that advertisers don't want their advertising to appear in front of certain media, I just didn't feel comfortable with completely demonizing that.
Yeah, and the thing is that I always thought that this would come sort of isolated from within YouTube, but after you said that, Angela, I think it actually makes sense that this may come from ad execs pressure, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it could come from Google. Google upset that owns and controls YouTube, and it does make sense. It does really make sense, because a lot of clickbaity type of video channels have also been hit. I mean, TYT got a lot of fucking videos demonetized because of this.
I think if we're going to go with Angela's theory, then we have to take into account that, for the most part, advertisers just threw their ads everywhere. Internet-wise, there was no checking up on where your stuff was going. If that
Some of
has
it was
changed,
through third-party stuff, wasn't it? Like Google AdSense.
Yeah.
if that is true, then honestly, it's just like TV or any other, monetization, and none of that is a problem or wrong. To be honest, as a company, you have a right to put your ads where you want to put your ads. It's just the implementation on YouTube's part was lazy.
I do agree that the vague wording of it is a problem. The vague wording of it is just like that. It's like Twitter's terms of service. We have all broken it some way or another. All of us.
They could have, for the most part, made tools for advertisers to control where their ads were going.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that. Instead,
there are none of us who are without sin.
Basically, they made a really bad algorithm that pissed off some of their top owners.
Yeah, and the thing is that they had almost that kind of system in place with YouTube Red. So if they did that on the advertising side as well, so that some advertisers...
Nobody's using YouTube Red.
Well, not Norway, because we still haven't gotten
No,
YouTube
nobody
Red.
in general is using YouTube Red.
No.
Here's the funny thing. I think this is really I think this may be part of Google's far too big machine, because the whole thing is that Google is too big that the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. It's similar to that the little finger doesn't even know what the forefinger's doing at this point. They're such a big company.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, YouTube, I think, was their least profitable venture. And last year, it made something like only $3 billion.
Oh my god. Oh.
But to be honest,
that's basically chump change.
Yeah, if you the problem is with career, businessly minded people, that they are all autistic. The thing is, they don't even like the money. To them, money's just keeping score over how good they are at what they do. That's the weird thing. And I say that to someone who actually is part of their own family business. I can tell you, people we deal with, even if they
hate rich people,
even if they have a deal that actually seems pretty decent, they will go, no, we go for the kill on this one, even if it means basically, if this deal is good, they'll quite happily destroy the whole market base for some people. But that being said, I don't think YouTube is going anywhere, and I think within a year everyone's going to have forgotten about this and have their own other ways of making money in place. I mean, if you look at Rob Dyke and all those other these other big YouTubers, they have Patreon, PayPal, tip boxes, and T-shirts. The book sales going.
Yeah.
Rob Dyke did actually make a statement on his most recent video where he's basically just asking his fans to kick up a fuss so that he can get his monetization back. His idea is that if they can't get it back, then, well, since these videos cost money to make, I can't keep making them. He's not thinking that there is an alternative solution. He just wants it gone. And
because he doesn't want to do the extra work to set up another revenue stream, basically.
Yeah. So what do you think? Do you guys think this? So do you think this is going to send your normal everyday creators, your mid-levels, because you've got people like our level who are just doing it for the shits and giggles. You've got people like a tier above who are doing it for the love. Then you've got people who are a tier above who are making it for the love and they want to make a bit of money. They're transitioning to make it a career.
Yeah.
We got love
alternative
career, which is
a stupid idea anyway.
I'm going to say that
which is why. Hang on. I'm actually going somewhere with this. And then you've got the people I thought about a year or two ago, the animators that came over from like Newgrounds and stuff like that.
Yeah. They
came over to YouTube because it looked like a better deal. And a year ago they were thinking, we're all going back to places like Newgrounds and stuff like that because it's a better deal for us.
The thing is alternative payment methods are only going to work for the big dogs that have enough of an audience that people are willing to pay out of pocket for their work. You're not paying, content creators when you watch their videos on YouTube. You're giving them ad revenue by, giving them clicks. It's an entirely different thing to stick your hand out to these people, on Patreon and say, here, I want you to physically pay me to make these videos or else I'm going to stop. And for the majority of people, that is a bridge too far for most people. And until there's a better way for them to get payment elsewhere, people are going to continue to use YouTube because not everybody is a PewDiePie or, a Philip DeFranco that could set up an account today and get paid outright by people. It's just not going to happen. I think that's one of the reasons PewDiePie was so upset was that the majority of his audience just can't pay because the majority of his audience is kids.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing with people like PewDiePie. I mean, the majority of the money that he makes is not made from YouTube views anyway. It's made from sponsored content, and that's where a lot of the big ones will go, is they'll make more sponsored content. And as long as it's properly labeled as sponsored content, then that's okay. The interesting question will be then, is YouTube in the future planning to crack down on sponsored content, or are they going to want a cut of the money? Because they don't get a cut of money from sponsored content. Is that where they're going to go next? I mean, I did just want to say that I don't think that when we did email advertisers before, I'm not saying that I think we did something wrong there. I just think that this may have had some unintended consequences.
Yeah, unintentional
consequences. It may well be that this was a system that YouTube were planning to implement all along, and that they've just kind of hurried it into being on pressure from advertisers.
Yeah,
and have ballsed up the implementation because of that.
It does feel a bit rushed. Because there are the idea of...
It's lazy, I said. It was... I think there was advertising pressure, but the implementation of what they did was bad.
But didn't they actually start rolling this out when they... when YouTube went under its what was it? Its video codec change last... the bit of thing that shows you the videos, they updated that a year ago, and I think that was the time when they actually... put that subtle change in the terms of service and said they were going to do this. It's only in the last couple of weeks we've started telling people they've been doing it. So I'm not sure if it's such a big deal. People have only noticed it, their money going down, if YouTube told them. Does that make sense to anyone else?
I mean, people will find a way around the rules, and people will find people will start Patreons and things like that instead of.
Yeah, I mean, look at Dave Rubin. He managed to. I'm not saying that everybody's able to do this because he actually had a platform to build from, but the idea of him having Patreon on a monthly basis, it's not a bad idea to do it that way to kind of make yourself independent from that ad revenue from YouTube, because I don't necessarily think he makes that much money from the ad revenue anyway. I think he actually makes a hell of a lot more from the actual Patreon donations, which I'm fine with, by the way, because I'm actually, full disclosure, I am a patron of Gadsad and Dave Rubin on Patreon.
Yeah, I'm a patron of Dave Rubin, but not Gadsad because that's two Jewish people. If you know what I mean.
Oh,
You
God.
know?
I don't give any money to any of those people because all unicorns are essentially Jewish.
Jesus, I just realized all the people I back on Patreon are Jewish.
I don't give any money to anyone on Patreon because I'm scared.
Suddenly woke.
Oh, God. Patreon is a Jewish conspiracy! Dun, dun, dun.
Illuminati confirmed.
There's at least 3 books, 2 videos, and a documentary in this. Let's get on this.
I gotta call Alex Jones and ask him if he wants to help me write a book. He
Those
can
are
write.
people in Patreon Jews.
He can write the chapters on water filters.
Alex Jones, the only man in the whole world that can sit there with underpants on his head, scream Hail Hydra, and yet still be more credible than St. Yuga.
Oh. Yeah.
Think about that, Sank. Think about how low you have fallen.
Why don't you talk about Saudi Arabia? Why don't you talk about Saudi Arabia? We talk about that all the time.
With the money Saudi Arabia giving us, well, affiliation with Al Jazeera.
Yeah. Don't mix up the Qatari royal family with the Saudi royal family. It's not like they're closely related or anything.
Al Jazeera, the only company that I know that actually got kicked. That is the only thing that's the only news network in the UK that got closed down because of its anti-Western views.
That's harsh.
It didn't get closed down. It's like no one, once they actually started going, oh, they were doing quite well over here.
Yeah.
Well, you see, they failed to properly register as a branch of the BBC before doing that.
Yeah, that's the problem. There's your problem. Well, anyways, go back
BBC
to
doesn't like competition.
to the YouTube stuff. Do you think there will be any sort of credible exodus? I mean, they
No.
keep
No.
The thing is, people keep talking about the exodus from Facebook and Twitter. I don't think YouTube is on the same level. Even though I have talked privately about switching to Hitbox, I don't think it's
I think
viable.
Okay, YouTube every 6 months pulls some crap like this. People get upset, in an uproar, in a tizzy, and go back to using YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And to be fair with this one, people are being absolutely insane about it, screaming about censorship and things like that. No, come on, it's not censorship. They're not taking anybody's videos down.
That was what
They're
I
just saying,
thought.
look, we're not going to pay you for them anymore.
My favourite one
That's
was
not the same thing.
No, the first thing I saw was like YouTube. The first thing I heard of it was someone saying YouTube is censoring conservatives, and I thought, oh no, what they do? They looked at it and went, that's not censorship, and 2, what this has got to do with conservatives? The people I've seen complaining about it, none of the conservatives.
I wonder if, for instance, Leanna Kay has had any of her videos demonetized because she does do kind of controversial topics from time to time. And
I'm not sure.
I don't pay enough attention to her now.
no, I know.
Well, who does really?
Well,
Have I just started a little civil war here? Okay, I'll back off.
no worries. I mean, I criticize her plenty. It's, just I like a different voice from time to time, even though she does do a lot of you know, she does make it a little bit too personal sometimes.
Yeah, I always get the feeling in her mind it's always about her. That's why I stopped paying attention to her, really.
Yeah, basically.
I'm looking at her feed now. I'm not seeing her complaining about any of her work being censored. She does raise some interesting questions.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Oh, I think they demonetized her video about preventing veteran suicides.
Oh
Suicide,
my
yeah.
god.
Suicide is a word that they don't want to. The advertising.
Yeah, suicide is one
Yeah,
of the
because
words
Boogie
in the
said the same
algorithm.
thing.
Yeah.
Boogie2988 said the same thing about that his suicide depression video had been demonetized as well.
He did say something that I got a bit that something that just wrestles your jimmies. He did say this. Someone, I can't remember who, said, "Well, if they didn't demonetize them, would you still make the video? If they
It was
hadn't?"
Monday Matt. I
Yeah,
saw that. It was Monday Matt asked him.
Yeah.
and he says Bookie says something to the effect of, "Well, if I'm not gonna get monetized, I don't see the point in making them." And it's like,
Oh, Boogie. Oh no.
Yeah. Well, you got
Are
to
we
understand
pretending
about.
that Boogie doesn't want to make money off of YouTube?
No,
Well,
no, but
the thing about Boogie A is a notorious flip flopper on issues, and B, I know this is going to sound unkind, but it's not like Boogie's really able to do anything else to kind of earn a living, if you know what I mean. Boogie would find it very difficult to do anything. I mean, he can't get a job.
walk.
Even he said it's not like he could get a job, and even he would fully admit that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So-
that's the thing.
And he
I
has a
don't.
lot of medical bills to
Yeah.
pay.
I don't. Here's the thing. I don't necessarily object to them removing monetization on videos about suicide, because that's the kind of if it's some sort of charity thing or some sort of awareness thing, don't try and make money off of it. Jesus Christ. If you're going to entertain people, yeah, sure. If you're going to sort of have a lecture about something or some draft for your book or whatever, something that you actually have created yourself out there, or some critique in some way, then I don't mind. But if you're raising awareness, it's just it smacks of
That does raise a question of why you would monetize a suicide prevention video in the first place.
Yeah, Anision did that with. Oh, no, I'm not going to talk about him. But I think my point about the whole thing is that people have to understand you're not an employee of YouTube. They are not beholden to you in any way.
No.
It's a system that you are allowed to go on there, and if you behave by the rules, you're entitled to a part of their income they're going to make off you. That's what I always said about YouTube. It's the same as Facebook. If you're not paying for it, and you're using it, you're not the customer. You're the product.
Yeah.
And to me, on YouTube, I've always had this opinion of, if you're going to use YouTube and you get famous off YouTube, you should be thinking of that just springboarding onto other things. I mean, look at PewDiePie. That's what he did. Why do you think so many big YouTubers start releasing books and stuff like that? I mean, Mr. Creepypasta, he started releasing books, as did Mr. Santoro. You know, what was his Matthew Santoro? That was his name. He's started releasing books now. So I've always said that YouTube is an interesting tool to become famous, but you should never, ever look at it as being your career, because you are still under their whim, because you are not an employee.
Yeah.
And until YouTube starts deciding to do something like sell stocks to good traffic bringers or something like that, that's always going to be the deal. So we are, unfortunately, and we knew this coming in, we are at the behest of YouTube, unfortunately.
Yeah. Could this be the start of the bursting of the YouTube bubble? Basically, people stop making. I'm not saying that people just gonna stop watching YouTube videos.
There
but
isn't
there
an
might
alternative. If there was a competing alternative, then it would be a possibility, but there's not.
Yeah, no,
there
but
is,
I'm not.
people will
I'm not
continue to
talking.
put up.
No.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
Basically, basically, like if another website made an alternative video site, then this might be an issue where people would be like, "Oh, well, I'm going to go over there now." But there's no other website that is as well connected and used as much as YouTube. So people are going to put up with it. They're going to suck that dick, and they can complain and whine all they want about it, but it's still tickling their tonsils at the end of the day.
Some will. If they're smart, they'll look at starting their own websites to run in tandem with the YouTube accounts. Look like much like PewDiePie has done. That's the thing that he has done.
Yeah.
Or they can band together and look at starting their own website. Something like that guy with the glasses, which would be a smart thing to do. You know, there are options.
But the problem with the Channel Awesome crew is that they are not. They have a problem that they themselves are not bringing in huge amounts of money, and if they ever do develop their own talent, which actually is talented, they are swept away by bigger companies immediately.
Yeah.
Which is why
that's they treat their employees like shit. To be fair.
Yeah, they have. I mean,
they have a massive reputation for being really shitty to the people that they find.
Yeah.
I mean, they've lost like 3 female
They lost the cute talented one.
Yeah.
They had the amazing atheist on, and they drove him off. They didn't get rid of him.
No.
What was it? Oh, what was his name? Weirdo that everyone else loved. Spoonie.
Yeah, they got rid of Spoonie.
Yeah, and Spoonie was just... The problem is that Spoonie made a bad online joke that they didn't understand.
Are you guys talking about that guy with the glasses network or Channel Awesome?
Yeah, Channel Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were saying that could be an alternative for YouTubers in that they could make their own websites, and some of them potentially could band together to make their own websites and use a model something similar to Channel Awesome or that guy with the glasses.
Yeah, so many.
Very cool though. Channel Awesome actually was run by people who were quite fixated only on that guy with the glasses, and no one much else, was just people who made the money, and that's all. So like the reason Allison and Phalis left was because they were basically getting abused by the higher up, the executives. Mike, I think his name was.
Mike Moonshower.
Yeah, and if I recall, Spoonie left not actually as a result of that shitstorm, but like he was planning to leave anyway or something like that, and it just got sidetracked.
Yeah, because he wasn't. That being on the site was costing him more money than he was making.
Yeah.
Because they wanted him to do like the films and stuff like that, which was actually costing him money because he was having to spend time doing that instead of making his own videos.
Yeah. Also, he had some enemies because he made online jokes that certain people didn't like. Also, he did have a habit of, out of comedy purposes or not, he did have a habit of spurging out.
Yeah. And I just find it funny that people were hoping he would get like a better update schedule after he left. It didn't get better. In fact, he just continued making wrestle videos and Counter Monkey and
getting in arguments with the Mafu. Yeah, I know that one. The problem with Spoonie is that he's a guy who doesn't know. He's a big wrestling fan, but he doesn't know much about wrestling and gets into arguments with people that do.
Well, it's clear if you follow Spoonie on Twitter, because I did. I used to be quite a big Spoonie fan, but when I saw how he was on Twitter, to be honest, I kind of went off him big time, because it's obvious at this point that he actually really doesn't like what he's doing. Only he's not able to think of anything else to do, or not able to see any other option. So he actually really despises his own audience, and part of that comes from the fact that he is bipolar as well, which doesn't help. And he had
I think this largely explains the high percentage of wrestling videos that he's come up with in the last few years.
Also, I feel like, I remember his fan base being particularly vitriolic and irritating, and I get the feeling like the reason they're like that is because of the way he acts on Twitter, sort of encouraged them.
Well, he never responds to anything good or nice that people say. He only responds to shitty stuff. I remember seeing him tweet once something like, there is nothing more boring than people telling you that they love you. And it's like you're saying that about your fans. People are constantly saying to you, "We love you, and we want you to be okay, and we think you're great, and we laugh at you." And he completely ignores all of that. And
Yeah, I think his problem is
treats it with complete disdain.
Yeah, I think the problem is he is someone who he's one of those people that constantly seeks validation, but it's not coming from the right sources. I think that's what people who
But
say
you could
that.
see
That
you could see the same thing with the rest of the Channel Awesome crew. I mean, the way that Doug and Tamara, is that her name? The new girl? Acted.
I've not watched in years.
Yeah, no, but it was the fucking. It was a fucking Mad Max Fury Road review that they did. That's sort
Honestly,
of.
in
Jesus.
Channel Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're terrible at talking over each other. Basically, with Channel Awesome, I feel like the only ones that really came out of it with any semblance of sanity were Phaelus and Looper.
I have in my youth. I had such a crush on Looper. I will not deny it.
I used to like the show, and then she retooled it into more of a talk show about the movie. And it's just not my thing, but I think it's well done at least. It's just not what I can really tolerate. It's not my type of thing, I guess.
Yeah, but anyways, let's go back to the YouTube thing. I think it's just
Sentences?
yeah, it's sensitive, so we can't really.
No, I said sentences.
Oh, sentences.
I was reminding you that you need to finish that one.
I think I've said everything I have to say about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that people are going crazy, but it'll blow over.
I'm not really having a strong reaction about it. I just looked at it and thought, yeah, that's pretty much what I felt.
So my exaggerated use of fire in the beginning of the podcast was a waste of time, basically.
Yes.
I'm just saying, when we move over to Daily Motion eventually, I think we should just be happy about it.
We're not moving over to Daily Motion. Daily Motion's just as shit as YouTube. Probably worse, actually.
Yeah.
Twitch?
Give me a second. I need to refresh here.
Twitch.
Out. The stream goes black.
There it
And it's
goes.
back.
Oh no, yeah, I got back. It was just a quick refresh. That's all I had to do.
And the stream has not caught up yet. And
yes, it's there. It's there. Yeah, let's change the subject. That was a perfect segue, by the way.
It wasn't.
Segue is not my thing, okay?
You have to
We
go
need
from
you
one
to
eye
establish this.
to another. That's a segue.
we should go to Pornhub.
I think. Yeah, let's talk about Mr. Repsion's Pornhub video.
What?
You guys didn't see that?
No.
What?
I avoid Mr. Reption because I find him a tedious little tit. What?
Mr. Repsion basically just, or Daniel Salzbach, is that his name? I think that, yeah. Uploaded a video where he just said it was the YouTube related shit, and he just basically said, I'm a white guy who got fucked in the ass by YouTube, and he just repeated that for 23 seconds.
And rubbed his nipples.
Yeah, and basically was bare chested.
It was his normal attention-seeking bullshit then.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Speaking of Hillary Clinton,
Yes, good. Very
That
good
was not a
segue.
segue either.
Yeah, best segue
we're
ever.
all about the segues here.
Roy, you're now in charge.
Yes, we've
of
established his name is
segue.
Roy.
He's now in charge of segues.
I am Roy Kelbeck, interdimensional unicorn and Segway master.
Yeah. So there was a satirical Hide It in Hillary game on the Apple Store,
Mm-hmm.
and it got banned.
This
No
surprises you?
surprises there then.
This is terrible. You hate women.
Yeah, the Apple's App Store basically banned a satirical game. I got the Heat Street article up here, and it's been numerous instances of censorship over the years, from a temporary removal of the Ultimate General Gettysburg because of a Confederate flag, yeah, and so on. The game
You
was
already know that Apple is left-leaning and they're going to censor anything that they feel is inappropriate
Yeah.
in their eyes. So.
Well, if you actually looked at, do you remember that? What was it? That not the Senate. I think it was a much higher court than that in the US, when Apple were called to task for not paying fucking taxes. Remember
Yeah.
that? Did you watch that?
Oh, yeah.
And it was a bunch of Democrats just sitting around them going, "We love Apple. We love the way it's going to work. We love everything. Now, please speak." Who's the guy in charge now? Gay Steve Jobs, but not as talented. What's his name?
I don't keep Apple
Tim
under
Cook?
check at all. Tim Cook, yeah.
Tim Cook. Yeah, I was like, hang on. Is it Tim Cook? Yes, it is. And he stood up and he gave his speech. We at Apple think of a simpler way to pay taxes. A simpler way for you and I, simpler way for the consumer, simpler way for... And it was this, like, typical salesman spiel, which basically goes, we at Apple think that we shouldn't have to pay any taxes, we don't want to, for the benefit of society, and basically they were like, well spoken, you need not to pay taxes. So I think they've got some sort of weird bullshit with the Democrats going on.
I mean, I can understand Google, because Google actually tries to build out the internet all over the world to some degree, or at least they claim to do that. I'm not sure about the whole fucking Google internet free for everybody thing. Yeah,
I think Google actually. I think the people in power at Google actually do believe that.
Yeah.
I think the sub management and middle management are dicks who have,
yeah.
Randy Harper as invited guests to look good.
Yes, exactly. And the thing is, what has Apple done to benefit society?
They came up with 4 products and released them 27 times.
Again, I ask you, what has Apple deserved not paying taxes for?
Okay, that's a different question. So you said benefit society, and then you said not paying taxes.
Yeah.
Plenty of people benefit society still have to pay taxes. These are not exclusive things.
No, but it's still, there's
Well,
still...
are we talking benefit society?
Jack
I mean, because
English.
a nurse benefits society by helping sick people, and they still have to pay taxes.
Mm-hmm. Twitter actually benefited society, I think, until Jack Dorsey took over.
Yeah. Well,
Now everyone's worried. That's the problem with Twitter now. Everyone's worried. But moving on, they haven't done a massive service. I mean, you could say they made technology more accessible to people who weren't technology literate. But Windows did that, didn't they? That was the whole point of the Windows 95 back in the day.
Yeah, and all they did was just basically take a normal PC and try and sell it to a higher price. Because design.
Mm.
So I don't get this love for Apple, because I don't see them. I mean, I can understand the love for Microsoft to a certain degree. Don't get me wrong. I don't fucking trust any within the Gates family, because they've basically railroaded everybody that they could come across. But at least he's tried to use his
Wealth.
estate and his wealth to some sort of societal good.
Mm-hmm. Apple has no official.
Apple?
There's no.
You mean Apple that made their money off of basically
Stolen
using
ideas.
child labor to make their products?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Here we go. Here's Apple stolen ideas claimed as their own. I mean, that they claimed the GUI and they stole that, and even Steve Jobs said he stole that idea from a printer. And you've got Apple just getting out of paying taxes, and they have no charity donations on the books. Microsoft, most companies do. No, just out of PR. And what did happen when Apple had bad PR? They go, our new CEO is gay, we're so progressive. That's pretty much how Apple operates. Hipsters with fuck capitalism iPhone cases. That is what Apple is.
Yeah. And that's
Pretty good. I will admit, pretty good hardware. I like using it, but it's not really changed much in the last, 7 years? Was the last innovation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get the love for Apple. I'm sorry. I just
No.
I don't at all.
No one did.
Who is it who makes the BlackBerry?
BlackBerry. That's the name of the company. Yeah, BlackBerry. I love my BlackBerry, by the way. I used to. Well, I did.
No, that's what I'm asking, because Hillary Clinton apparently had 13 of those smashed by her aides. So she's really been backing this company. It's like every time. The weird thing is, I thought she said that these got lost because they had to be turned in when they were replaced. But instead of turning them in, they just smashed them with a hammer.
Yeah, because
He thinks that's how you destroy data.
Yeah.
But go back to answer your earlier question. When I first got my iPad, I got the first. I had an iPod, the old iPods, awesome machine. Then I had the iPod Touch, loved it. Then I had an iPad and just fell in love with that machine. I still have it here, even though it doesn't work anymore. But besides, after the iPad 2, they didn't come up with anything interesting.
No, that's.
And the thing is, my iPad 2 is still fully operational. The problem is they've made it so the hardware updates now make it so new apps just don't work on it. So even though it works perfectly fine, they've made the software not work for it.
Oh God!
It's forced obsolescence, which is why I fell out with Apple.
Well, they want you to buy the new product.
Yes, but the whole point is my problem is that all my other machines, like my Windows and my Google machines, well, my Google hardware, like my Android phones, they just keep working until they break. These things they deliberately die on you or become useless.
Yeah, that surprises you.
No, it doesn't surprise me. I just don't like it. I don't appreciate companies that do that.
You're just gonna bitch about it.
Of course I am. I'm a consumer. That's my job. And I'm broadcasting right now.
You still buy the products, and I bet you money you're going to buy the ones to replace it.
No, as I said, iPad 2. That was when I dropped off.
Yeah, of Apple. Yeah, but not Samsung.
I don't own any Samsungs. I have an HTC. And the only reason I lost my BlackBerry is because I was doing a drama show and a boat fell on it.
Oh.
Oh, what fell on you?
A boat fell on my BlackBerry.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
It still kind of worked afterwards, just the keys fell off.
But are we in agreement that Apple's App Store is basically cancer?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we knew that already.
Yeah.
Also, I just remember we started talking about this and I went on a rant of my attitude towards Apple products. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
We are becoming the Daily Mail. We are now accusing everything of being cancer.
And we're looking for pedophiles everywhere. No, that's the scum, isn't it? Yeah, well, it's...
I was actually looking at Crash Override Network, but carry on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's not get back into that because, we covered that extensively last week. But the thing about the App Store is that they still have anti-Trump games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're a
Well, it's okay to make fun of him.
Well, you see, he's a guy, not a gal, and therefore, if you kill or beat him up, you're not hating on women.
I wonder if
Trump were a woman,
that works.
if it were a female Republican running, they would have those games still on the App Store because they've had them for other female politicians.
I was going to say, do they still have any up for Sarah Palin?
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like, yeah, they did have Sarah Palin.
I think there was a Sarah Palin hunting game because people hated the fact that she shoots coyotes from helicopters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a standard killing technique. It's
Yeah,
not.
and they kept. Do you remember this was ages ago? Like it or not, Marley Yiannopoulos had a game where it was him being thrown off the roof and stoned to death by Muslims,
Yes.
and they pulled it because it might be offensive to Muslims, not the character you were murdering in the game.
But then
not the
again, Milo signed off on that game.
He did, but the
So
fact they pulled it was absolutely ridiculous.
yeah, I agree.
It's
I
not
agree.
a game that targets gays. It's a game that targets Muslims.
So you
Because
guys,
every Muslim is ISIS, right?
Was it Call of Duty has to be banned now because it has like American and British main characters as the mass murderers of brown people?
Why is it that the people on the extreme left are the most racist motherfuckers I've ever run into? These are the ones who say, "Hey, you can't have this this game about a gay guy getting thrown off rooftops because that's attacking Muslims." So like, no, it's attacking ISIS, who happen to be an extreme sect of Muslims. No, you're attacking Muslims, so all Muslims are ISIS to you.
I don't want to go into my opinion on Islam here because this video will be deleted if I do that. I am not as extreme as a lot of people might think I am, but I know I'll word myself back.
Unsolicited opinions extreme.
yes, yeah, but
If I'm gonna air them, it's only if we do unsolicited opinions with the tagline Half-Life 3 unveiled trailer in brackets real. That'll be our going down the drain episode.
1 million hits and all the hate in the
The
world.
Hail Mary episode.
So you guys,
We
since
gotta
we're-
get out of the drain first.
yeah, dude. So you guys want to talk a little about the U.S. election because we got two
Oh
things.
God, no! Do we have to?
There's still 2
I'm
months
more excited
left.
about our mock debate.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
my American followers on Twitter, but God, I'm so sick of hearing about the election.
I don't blame you, so are we.
Yeah, here's the thing, Angela. You don't live here.
Oh.
It's
The funny
been
thing is
3
that-
years.
The funny thing is that now we have
Okay.
since the internet happened, we have lots of American friends now
Yeah.
because of the language ease, obviously. And ever since then, you have a lot of people, British people on the internet just going, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" Our elections last about 4 weeks. They are limited towards it, £3 million per campaign. You spend more of that on flipping balloons per show,
Yeah.
and
We have tried. There are places where we have by referendum forced through laws like that, which then get overturned by the Republicans and Democrats screaming that it's anti-First Amendment. Arizona had a law like that called the Clean Elections Act. You weren't required to use it, but if you did, what you were doing was taking a pledge not to take any special interest money. You had to get a petition with at least X number of signatures on it. You had to do basic qualification stuff, but in exchange for not taking any special interest money, you got a grant to run on.
Mm.
And it was fixed according to the office that you were running for. Very sensible. I really liked the idea, and the Republicans immediately attacked it as being anti-free speech.
Yeah.
You know,
So
Citizens
basically-
United.
So basically, the whole thing that in the UK we have it the same thing in a roundabout way. In a very roundabout way, we have a similar thing. But in the same times, we're kind of happier about our politicians. We just have kind of disinterest in them for the most part as a nation.
They're like,
We're
man.
quite apathetic as a nation.
Yeah,
Until they start screwing things up, right?
Ever since you lost your empire, you've just been meh.
Oh, come on. Don't rub it in.
No,
Please.
true. Since we lost
Yeah, bloody colonials.
since we lost the empire, we've been kind of fuck it. You know, as a nation.
Hey, I'm still pissed about the blockade during the Napoleonic Wars, which killed thousands of Norwegians. So fuck you, British.
Get over it.
We A, don't know, B, don't care.
I
54-50 or fight.
I still remember there was a British member of Parliament who wanted an official apology from the Scandinavian countries for the Viking raids.
We didn't hear about that. Neither did we really care.
No.
It was
I'll
We
tell
would have
you.
laughed and made some memes. And
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
that would have been it.
It
That
was
was-
hilarious, because, yeah.
Yeah, I can't laugh too hard about that because anytime somebody comes up and says that you're a white guy, you need to give me reparations, I just point them towards the Vikings and say, I'm waiting on theirs.
Yeah. And you're gonna wait a long fucking while, because the only money we're sending anywhere is to Africa. Hey, that's the reason why Scandinavian countries are sending so much money to Africa, because we're bypassing the money we owe England and the U.S. by sending it down to Africa instead. So you don't know any
Wait,
reparations
wait.
So
whatsoever.
you're paying for our reparations. Cool. I'm good
Yeah.
with
Do you,
it.
wait, do you owe us money? Britain, do you owe
And
Britain
you're
money?
the reason we're in debt.
Do you owe Britain money? Does Norway owe Britain money? Does it?
Well,
Does
there's this whole Lindisfarne thing, and then, interest.
Yeah, most British people don't give a shit or even know, so don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Guys. Don't worry about it.
We'll get the debt collectors to send you an angry letter and
Yeah,
about the whole thing.
They'll send you an angry letter. Just ignore it. We're not going to really pursue it. You
Yeah,
know.
and then there's all the fucking conflicts which we were involved when we were under Denmark, where you basically just blockaded our fucking harbors.
Well, don't worry, because you know the Vikings thing.
Yeah,
The Vikings thing's been
exactly.
awesome. Most people in Britain think Vikings are cool. I mean, in York, we even have the Jorvik Centre,
Yeah.
which is a celebration of Vikings. So don't worry about it, guy.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
yeah,
Yeah, and the Danes have already said sorry for that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Viking race.
And the Swedes say sorry all the time. I mean, even when they get raped. So
Yeah, it's their fault basically. Look at me.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the way that country's dressed.
So wait. Are you saying that it's actually a matter of cultural guilt that causes them to allow themselves to be raped at this point?
yeah, because the Swedes have never been subjugated by anybody. So they naturally long for subjugation. So that's why they now have opened all the borders and allowed a bunch of people to come into
it's
the
a
country
fetish.
and rape them. Yeah, it's
You're
a
saying
fetish.
it's a fetish.
It's a
I
fetish.
think in Sweden, that's when the uprising's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
That is because I've spoken to some people in Sweden, and they're all kind of people like, well, you know, you're not supposed to talk about it, and you know, whatever. But you can tell they're getting pissed off.
Oh yeah, dude. There's no that's why a lot of people say that out of all the Scandinavian countries, Norway's the sanest, because we know what it's like to be subjugated as a country. We had 400 years of Danes, and then 100 years of Swedes, and then 5 years of Germans. So we know, okay?
Yeah, fun fact: Britain never conquered Sweden, so that's a one-off. So we have to fix that one.
Yeah, I think we need we need some Swedes to be.
It'll happen once Sweden is completely Islamic.
Yeah. Well,
That time it'll be a mercy killing.
yeah. Speaking of mercy killing, this is a horrible fucking segue. Hillary's health being an excuse for the
Yeah, that is a. You can't use the fact that your segue is horrible as a segue.
Dude, I can. I totally can.
Just
It's a segue. Anything works.
No, here's what I was
Jan
thought.
needs to learn how segues work.
Here is the way that I thought you were going to go with that. Are you going to say that they couldn't use the fact that Hillary's health was a conspiracy theory cooked up by the Trumpians and the alt-right and the alt-fairies? Or the fact that she's been failing...
Mostly the alt-fairies.
That's why she couldn't really figure out her emails, because she's not feeling very well, and when she's not feeling well, she commits treason. Okay, I think you should all deal with it. Otherwise, it's all homophobic.
I'm just. I know this is gonna sound really, really, really bad, but I'm
I
so
always
glad.
break the Geneva Convention when I get sick.
Yeah, and I'm just glad she's no longer sort of menopausal, because that would be a fucking hell.
Wow.
I am just so glad that she decided to go to the nuclear codes jokes so recently, because that has become suddenly all too relevant.
Yeah, because she.
Okay, guys. I came of political age during the era Reagan was still in office, and towards the end of it, when people were making jokes about his memory being so shot because he couldn't remember anything having to do with Iran-Contra, and oh my God, this guy is a senile old bastard who's already got he could.
Well, he did have
the
Alzheimer's.
missiles. We don't know. He could just go nuts and launch at any moment. This was something that liberals and Democrats talked about quite a lot back in the day, and they hated Reagan in large part because of this.
But you don't even have to go that far back either to see that
but
the Democrats
she
have
hasn't
done
even been elected. She hasn't even been elected,
but
and she's doing the same shit.
They did the same fucking thing during the Obama-McCain duel.
They went after McCain. My point being that what Hillary Clinton is doing right now and the defenses she's using are defenses the Democrats weren't willing to accept from Reagan's people.
Yeah.
She is the worst of Ronald Reagan in Democrat form, and they're totally for her.
Yeah, but let's be fair. He did have Alzheimer's, and he did show a lot of signs of Alzheimer's really early on. It's just that
that's why he had lots of chili beans, wasn't it? To have something to occupy his brain when he was trying to think.
Yes, it needed to like pop open the top, throw some extra beans in there to provide extra volume. So here you've got somebody who has not even yet been elected, trying to claim that she's the most qualified candidate, and at the same time using the defense, I had a concussion.
Yeah.
The concussion that she didn't have, and now she does have, but she doesn't have it when it doesn't suit her, but she does have what she does have when it does suit her, and...
Let this woman just nuclear codes, hand them over! Give her the football now!
That's what I like about the UK, it's like, we don't have this kind of weird shit. I don't know what the hell's going on with your... It's like you've got the royals back. It's like you've got royal families fighting over the fucking crown.
We do. One's Clinton and the other is the Bush family. And the reasons that they are royals is because they're the ones who have the biggest single lock on fundraising for each of their respective parties.
So it's influence and power exactly the same as the old feudalism system worked.
I mean, the Kennedys tried to implement this, but
to the extent of giving loyalists their titles, to giving honorariums to people to keep them in line and to keep them in one's camp, giving people their little feudal fiefs and the whole thing. I mean, that's been a problem with American politics going back to the 1800s at least.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been getting... It was getting better after the 30s, and there was kind of a bit of a breakup. But as the parties get more and more solidified around central factions, as they have been, we see the return to this kind of feudalistic, feuding.
Yeah, it is. It's almost. I'm probably gonna botch this analogy, but it's kind of War of Roses feel to it.
Hatfields and McCoys is the American version.
Yeah, Hatfields and McCoys.
Well, Hatfields and McCoys never came into power. The War of the Roses is an apt analogy.
Well, insofar as how much they hate each other and how they're entrenched, and War of the Roses is closer in terms of how you had the war for the power structure.
I think Jan is banking on us not knowing enough about the War of Roses to contradict him, and it's not going to work anyway.
No, it's a good game. I enjoyed that game.
Not the game, and not the movie either. I'm talking about the actual event in your goddamn country, Plippy.
Oh, you mean War of the Buttons, when there's two working class kids both fancied the same girl when they were 8, and they had a bit of a war, and the war was fought over who got the buttons off their coats. Oh, it was a wonderful moment.
I'm in a hangout with a bunch of Philistines.
Your
We just
point.
need,
I know
we just
what you
need
mean,
Richard.
Dad. Don't worry.
We just need a candidate to announce themselves at the 11th hour right now as Richard York.
Yeah. Yes, please. Can he not? No, I don't think anybody could. They have to announce themselves in May, right?
There,
But then
there's
they'd assassinate him and bung him under a car park.
Yeah.
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 Come on, Gary Johnson, change your name to Richard York.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so we were talking about this thing earlier, just very briefly about Gary Johnson. Do we want to bring that one up before we go off? We've got 3 minutes left.
Yeah, we got 20 minutes.
Oh, his spurge about wrong wording.
Yeah.
You call it a spurg. I thought I don't want to be a massive Johnson defender. I don't. I really don't. I'm not in your country. I don't really care. I'm just saying is that if the guy, I could disagree with the guy and get where he's coming at, knowing his viewpoint and his worldview. Because that's whenever I've had arguments with like socialists, they've always said to me, "How do you control your borders?" That's what the thing the socialists have always brought up to me, and I've always gone, you know, if you're going to have the purest of libertarian moments, what you do is you own your land and it's like your house. You know, you collectively come up with the rules you have. And Gary Johnson is just an open borders kind of guy. That's just what it is. That's just what I feel.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I don't necessarily disagree with him on principle when it comes to open borders. It's the way that it's often implemented in the West that I see the I understand the reactions to people, why they react to it, and in an ideal society, yes, I would want
Open.
as open borders as possible. But then again, I wouldn't want nation states. I want city states where you can travel from city to city. But
Yeah.
you know.
My point is that I don't agree with him, but I understand him. That's my... I understand why that would upset someone. I'm not saying that I agree with him on that point, but I do understand his mindset and why that would upset him. Considering the battles he's probably had to face in his lifetime in politics.
Yeah, and here's the thing. At least he's not an authoritarian. Both of the other candidates are authoritarians.
Yeah.
They are, and we're basically not allowing the Americans to comment on this because we're too know-it-all foreigners. But
Yep.
At least he wants to shrink your fucking oversized bureaucracy and your goddamn huge fucking military machine down to a more reasonable size.
Yeah, so the British can take over as well as we have always deserved to do, because Das Volk demands it.
Hey, foreign people.
Burners.
All right, the thing is,
coming here, taking our gerbs.
The president doesn't have anywhere near the amount of power that the rest of the world thinks the president has. Even if he were to get into office, trying to do what you just said you want him to do would be nigh impossible.
Yeah, I realize that.
Well, it's all mitigated by the Senate, isn't it? Any power that the Prime...
No, it's
President
mitigated by the
has.
corporations that pushed for these two things in the first place.
Okay, we're talking officially here.
Officially.
I have noticed
dude,
that
you tend
to go the corporation route, and you're right. I'm not saying you're not right. I'm just saying.
All right. It's completely official. It's official to the point that we have proof. We've had proof forever.
Yeah, Citizen United made it official.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is war is business in this country, and there's so many warmongers that make money off of it in this country. In other countries as well. Yeah. That you wouldn't be going up against your own government. You'd be going up against these corporations. And you you literally have to rip our entire government down in order to achieve the two things that you guys said you want.
Or
It's that bad.
or you could go to. I'm suggesting. I know this is far fetched, but I'm suggesting that Gary Johnson goes all Tyler Durden.
What?
You mean we all wake up one morning and we find out we were Gary Johnson all along?
I was thinking, what, he has to have sex with Helena Bonham Carter.
I was just thinking.
She's single.
Well, I was just thinking we all wake up one morning and find out we were shacking that person that we really fancy after all.
Yeah.
This would be like waking up to find that Hillary Clinton was Hulk Hogan all along.
No, you're not allowed to speak.
It's that
such
radical
of
of a change. That's why I was busting out laughing.
No. But I was actually thinking the whole
Gary Johnson, Tyler Durden. Please explain. Yes.
Blowing up figuratively.
Figuratively.
Not literally. I'm not saying that he should literally blow up the credit card company.
Oh my God! Finish your point, Jack.
But it would put us on an even playing field again.
No, it wouldn't.
I think
we're back to the how does he even do that regardless of what he says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Guys, you know Brexit? That's kind of what happened.
Yeah.
A bunch of people just wanted to burn the shit down because they didn't like
Are you
it.
saying that Tyler Durden's really Nigel Farage?
No, Nigel Farage was just
Yes,
a guy
smile
that
for it.
Nigel Farage was a guy that just paraded around to make us all feel insecure about ourselves.
Are you saying Boris Johnson is Tyler Durden?
Oh God, do you know how many pro-Brexit people there were? And the only two people that made it into the media were Boris Johnson and Nigel Farage.
Yeah.
Are you telling me they weren't trying to intimidate us down on that one?
Yeah, the thing about
I feel like
Brexit...
Dan Hannon is Tyler Durden. And Nigel Farage is the one who wanted to cut his testicles off.
Oh, yeah.
Haven't we talked about Owen Smith? I'll say that as a no.
Yeah.
No, I thought you were saying Owen Jones for a second there. I thought, what? He's that little geek that thinks that the EU's great.
No, Owen Smith, the guy who's competing with Jeremy Corbyn for leadership of Labour. And tried to court the millennial vote by basically saying, well, I'm going to force another, what was it, the vote thing?
Referendum
before, what's her name, Theresa May can,
she can trigger Article 50.
Yeah, and it's like, he already pissed them off in the same, basically the same day by calling Jeremy Corbyn a lunatic, and his backpedal was glorious. It was basically just, I was talking about myself, but if you actually look at the context in which he said it, he's clearly referring to Corbyn, and it couldn't be himself. It's just...
Yeah, he's basically John Oliver without the sense of humour in every way.
Yeah, and the thing that people keep forgetting about Brexit is that in countries like Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and the rest of Europe, basically, most of the left is very anti-EU. That's why that whole fucking thing was so weird for us standing outside of the EU in Norway, looking in on it, because we knew that the right were the ones that were the EU supporters during
yeah, for the most part, yeah.
During our last election about it, basically, which was back in '94. Oh God, I'm getting old.
You have to remember, the Labour Party has gone away from its old principles of basically being for the working man and the people of Britain to being, I hate to sound like one of those people here, they are now complete globalists, even to the fact that the Labour Party's leader, Jeremy Corbyn, is a Brexiter, but he wasn't allowed to talk about it.
Yeah.
He had to support Brexit, he had to denounce Brexit, while at the same time you knew he voted for it.
Yeah.
Because it's now become basically a faux Democrats party. You know, the party that it's always about it's always about courting the immigrant vote. It's about, well, when I say the pro-immigrant vote, I mean the not white people vote. I hate to be that guy, but it's pretty much what it feels like as a white dude. And you kind of see people higher up in the Labour Party saying the problem with Britain is white people.
Yeah, and we're seeing that problem in Norway as well. The left has stopped courting the working class, and they're now courting the...
They're openly insulting the working class and essentially taking the they're a bunch of oiks route.
Yeah. That it's become an elitist side of politics. It's no longer about... And that's why you see this whole fucking rise of the rise of the right, the far right, even in most of Europe, and also people say that it's because of immigration. No, that's part of the problem. That's only a symptom. The problem is that they stopped talking to the working class. They stopped caring about the working class, and especially working class men. Especially working class men. They stopped caring about them like 20 years ago. And they now know the only thing that they talk about is, oh, the poor immigrants. Yes, they're in a shitty fucking situation. By all means, they are. But I understand why the right is getting so much... oh God, that they're getting so much support from the working class, because it's no longer the left in Europe and in the US as well are no longer talking to them. They're no longer talking to the poor working class.
Yeah, Tarsen, don't link stuff when I'm trying to listen to Jan, please.
What did you do?
He just linked me something that I just looked at that I got kind of offended at while you were talking. Check the Twitter chat room.
Yeah, I'll do it. So, is there anything else anybody want to address?
White Lives Matter, guys. Fist bump, everyone, to the microphone. To the microphone. There we go.
Fist bump.
Jesus Christ. Is there anything else that has happened this week?
No, I've talked over everyone enough today, I think. Thank you.
Yep.
I went to the food bank and they gave me Girl Scout cookies, so this is a big thing for me.
When?
I just realised I had my microphone off. Whoops. The only thing that springs to mind is millions of bees are dead in South Carolina because they sprayed a bunch of insecticide to try and kill the mosquitoes carrying Zika, which may or may not have actually been there.
Bees Lives Matter.
Not the bees.
Yeah, the bees.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm unsure if the county will actually reimburse the beekeepers for having ruined their career.
Yeah, and the bees generally or globally are in, or at least the European type bee is really in trouble. That's the white genocide that we should be talking about. Or the black and yellow.
Yellow. Yeah, I was about to say yellow and black.
Funny that you should mention that, because the biggest crisis facing bees in the last 20 years prior to this was the Africanization, the African killer bees.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're getting all these African bees up in here displacing the
which actually was kind of funny, because they were, I can remember when this happened. A bunch of the proto-social justice warriors reacted really strongly because people kept calling them Africanized beasts.
But that was what I was going to say. It was like, could you imagine if the term Africanized bees, because there were a bunch of bees that were crossbred, European bees crossbred with African bees, which are way more aggressive form of bee.
Yeah.
And then they actually started reproducing and they started attacking people. To be completely fair, it was kind of like Ebola. No one really got hurt. But could you imagine if they used that terminology today?
Yeah, and the thing is, it's speaking evolutionary. I'm not really. I read about biology as a hobby, basically, but it makes sense.
That's heathen talk, that is.
Yeah. God.
In my days, we have the chicken bones, we rattle them down, we go down there, we look at our soothsayer, and they tell us what's going to be. We don't do this biology heresy.
Yeah, but
carry on, sorry.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The reason why insects from tropical areas are more aggressive is because they need to be more aggressive, because there are more people fighting for their food or trying to attack them. That's why the insects are more aggressive in tropical areas.
Yeah, absolutely. It's why when you get poor people who are, if you have someone who spends, I know, have you ever seen that film? Stop. Who drinks the juice in L.A. when they're eating food in the hood?
Don't be a menace while drinking your juice in the hood.
Yeah, that was it. A great film that I can't remember the title to. Wayans Brothers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I love.
Wait, there was a great film with the Wayans brothers in it?
There was. That was a breakout.
Wow.
It was a breakout film. That was really good. And it had this guy who was like out of prison, and he was surrounded by friends, and he spent the whole time threatening all his friends to keep his food. It was a good film. You should see it.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Yeah, but
I need a webcam right now to see my.
Yeah. And yeah. I think we're running out of. I think what?
I like how we were completely silent when Prippy laughed.
Yeah.
Just to
I'm actually just filling air because I'm used to being talked over. So basically, I'm going. Is someone going to talk now? Please, someone talk.
Yeah, you're still.
Everybody just kind of backed away from the mic for a minute.
Like Pliffy's slowly like becoming a part of the group where he's just like, okay, I got to see my point.
Yeah.
And like now, like he's like, oh, okay, I can actually speak.
I have nothing to follow up. I just had a soundbite lined up, and I said it. And everyone was intrigued to listen to me. And when they were intrigued to listen to me, they expected me to carry on. And I just went, "Oh shit, I've got nothing to follow up with." So, this is my synchronized clapping.
Yeah, trust us, Plippy. We were all away from the microphone, and we were gusting our butts laughing. We just didn't want you to hear it because it might interrupt you. Which is why there was that long, awkward silence while you laughed at yourself.
Yeah, I know. I'm one of those people that basically I laugh a lot. I laugh when I tell the joke. I laugh when I have the joke explained to me, and I laugh 2 days later when I finally get the joke.
Yeah, and with that, I think we're done for this week.
Segway.
Yeah, I don't. Feel
That one
like
was actually decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one actually worked. Well done, Jack.
Yeah, thank you.
An achievement you will never replicate.
This has been the Unsolicited Opinions podcast. With me today have been, as always, Artivous Ira.
I can't just say that Ira has the best delayed laughter in the world.
Yeah.
He pauses for a moment, then when people start
No
talking,
wonder
he has
I
a
can never
belly laugh.
No wonder I can never do a proper outro, because you keep interrupting me when I'm trying to do the outro.
Yeah, no, that's what I was doing.
Should have just cut some music.
Outro continues to elude.
Play
Anyways,
the Hawaiian War chant.
God damn it, could you stop?
We've got 2 minutes
Jeez.
left, okay?
Anyways, that has been the Unsolicited Opinions podcast for today. With me, as always, have been Artivous Ira, even though he came in a little bit late. Our regular guests, Civilian Sky and Roy Kalbeck, you can all follow them on Twitter. And our lovely special guest, Angela Hart. Angela Knight.
Why did she get multiple lovelies?
Because she's my, my.
You forgot Plippy.
What?
You forgot Plippy.
I was getting to Plippy.
No, because he should have been included in the same category that Roy and I are. You didn't.
I get multiple lovelies because he doesn't want to trigger me, Artivous. That's why.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to say.
I'm worried if I just say
wanted
Angela, she's just going to sit there.
I think he wanted to say our outgoing member because we're not bringing him back after this.
No, dude, you will always be welcome back.
I know.
Yeah, just you don't talk over me. Anyways, that's it for today.
That's one of us.
And good night.
Bye, guys. I'm
Coffee cafe.
Yeah, I just had to point out that when Plippy was speaking, Angela's